Hey everybody, so the very last group to go through a CDT training workshop went through today, and that distinction goes to West Michigan Works here. We had a great crew today. Everyone had a blast. I did a session on Wednesday, November 29th. My first group, they had a great time, and then today was to wrap it all up with another group for a total of like 30 people in this last week. Just wanted to share a couple of the comments and reviews that I got, all very positive. Everyone had a great time. But for example, right here, would like to take this training again with female instructors. I do have female role players, instructor role players. I just can't, a lot of my folks also have other lives and all that, and I just couldn't coordinate it at this time. But we all know from experience that people handle situations with women very differently. It's just one of those things. So I do have female role players to add to the realism some of the scenarios that we do. I enjoyed the real life examples, great feedback on what I did right, what I did wrong. There's always a critique phase after people go through scenarios, so we can emphasize the things that they're already doing right and also show them things that could be tweaked a little bit. More time for role players, variety of role players, women in situations. So thank you for some giving examples of real life situations. You're a great instructor. Yeah, great instructor. Role players did a great job. I love the scenarios. They really made me think about how I would react. Everything was excellent and applicable to my work environment. I'm very flexible. I make sure that my scenarios are geared towards the work environment that we're going to be in. So church would deal with church things, private security would deal with private security things, corporate security. You see what I'm saying? So we're very flexible and we create very dynamic, realistic scenarios for you. Would like much more of this type of training. That's one thing I emphasize is you can't go do something like this for, in this particular case, these were 2-hour blocks of instruction. You can't go through a 2-hour, 4-hour block of instruction, come out of this expecting to think that you're an expert. Between my role players and I, we're passing on to you almost 100 years of police road experience, and there's no way in 4 hours we're going to impart upon you all that knowledge. And besides, training in anything is an ongoing thing. Awesome instructor. Yeah. Clearly explained how to de-escalate situations with upset, angry, rude customers. Enjoyed the training. Thank you. Great information, very useful, worth practicing every day. I love the breathing techniques. We talk about combat breathing, how to try to stay calm as tensions start to rise. I will definitely keep it in mind. Very realistic scenarios and great performances by the role players. They taught me so much. Amazing experience. Although I would like to have seen a female role player and see how my reaction would have been different. So even this person recognized that handling a female potentially could have been very, very different. I learned a lot about how to handle different situations and what to do if they come up. Instructor made it fun and also a great training session. Enjoyed the role players. They were a lot of fun. Great learning lesson. Thank you very much. Great actors. Helpful to have real world scenarios. Engaging animated relevant stories and experiences. Role players, again, excellent, provided well-rounded options for each scenario. You know, there's a saying, there's 9 ways to skin a cat and all that. My role players are very well aware, and we emphasize that when you're dealing with human beings and someone who's uptight and all that, dealing with humans is a very dynamic, very fluid situation. What works with one person will not work with someone else, or even with the same person the next day. So we talk about options, but the rule of thumb is, again, as long as you maintain control of yourself, don't get yourself emotionally sucked into a situation, stay very well aware of your body language, your tone of voice, and be actively engaged in the moment, actively, reflectively listening, you're more apt to de-escalate a situation than not. Good way to practice being in an uncomfortable situation. A good way to practice being in an uncomfortable situation. Nice to see coworkers handle themselves in stressful situations. And that's good because we actually talked about why we should do training. Anyone should do any training together with other people and their office staff and so on, because this way you build that sense of camaraderie and that sense of teamwork and all that. And you start to develop a feel for how each of you would handle a stressful situation. So anyway, that's that for 2017. I'm already lining up stuff for 2018, getting phone calls. Things are happening, and I hope to see you there. We're going to have a blast.